Welcome back to the show. Yesterday we celebrated World Jollof Day and the internet has showed us their best recipes. But here on Afternoon Express, we're adding something of a twist to this West African jollof rice by including some seasonal vegetables and pairing it with a herby authenticos dressing to balance out all the fresh flavors.
If you want mega ginger, give me the chokoro. Jollof. I had to start it off because it wouldn't be fair for us to be making jollof rice in this kitchen and not pay homage to some of my West African favorites, Whiz Kid, Burna Boy. Anyway, it's not about me today. It's about the food and the jollof.
I'm so here for it.
And one of those staples when it comes to making a jollof rice is to actually blend some ingredients first. But before I do that, I also want to touch on something that we're going to be adding to the jollof rice. We're going to be dolloping it nicely on top of our dish, and that is a herby yogurt dressing that we just, because you know, jollof is hot.
Yeah.
Like when our people do it, you know, when the West Africans do it, the Nigerians and the Ghanaians, when they make this dish, they make sure to add so much heat to it, you know, and it is important to have something to sort of cool it down and tone it down a little bit, and this is where our CLOVER Authenticos herby mayo, or rather herby yogurt comes into this. It's the only authentic Greek-style yogurt in South Africa, and yes, we're using the plain flavor today, but there's also those different flavors. There's the cinnamon, apple and cinnamon, there's the coconut as well, so you could definitely enjoy that as a snack anytime. But just to break through all of that...
Is it good?
It is so good.
Like so good? I've got all these sounds going on my line behind me, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It is doing exactly that. It is the perfect courier to bring that mildness, that creaminess within the jollof. But the jollof is also banging, girl.
It is banging, right? So just to bring this all together, right, we've got in our CLOVER Authenticos authentic Greek-style yogurt, and then into that I've got some herbs. You can use whatever herbs you've got. You've got your mint, you've got your coriander, any light herbs would work. And just a squeeze of lemon juice goes into this. And this is about it. Mix it up, and that's basically the topping. But obviously, we still need to go back to the jollof, and that's what you're making for us, Mr. Chef.
Absolutely. So into a pan, I've put a little bit of oil and just sort of brought that up to temperature. Then added some onions, peppers, carrots, and courgettes. And again, it's one of those dishes you can really add in all sorts of bits and pieces. You know, those things that lurk at the bottom of your drawer. For someone who's been traveling, I'm sure there's always the Richard cucumber that's gone mushy or whatever.
Or something. But
yeah, anyway, those kind of vegetables that are starting to go soft, don't waste them. You know, we all sort of, you know, got to sort of watch our pennies at the end of the day. So really save those bits and pieces for dishes like this, where you can just go and literally pop everything into here and get that done. So we're going to be sort of just start cooking that off there. And obviously we've rinsed our rice as well. So allow the tap just to keep running through it until it runs nice and clear. And I'm just going to just put that into my sort of makeshift sink on the side over there.
Yeah.
So just like that. And we're going to add that very shortly just now to this. So we're just going to get this onto a nice heat and start breaking and cooking this down. Rice generally takes 20 minutes from start to finish to actually cook. So you can imagine those vegetables are going to cook down in that time as well. Okay. So here, what Tumi has got for me is some garlic, tomatoes, and some red peppers as well. Put that into a lovely base. This is a sort of a stock almost in itself. Into a bit of a paste, and this will help sort of speed the process down.
And you know,
like
Chef, this is also the point where if you're using anything that's heat, because I know they like to use like your Scotch bonnets or your habaneros, whenever you'd be using those hot chilies and stuff, that would be the place to add them. So if you're adding heat, put them into the blender with all those, the tomatoes and stuff, and just so it breaks down and you add it.
Well, I just had my taste, and honestly, this jollof isn't as hot as it quite traditionally is, but that's what it's all about. We're adding our Afternoon Express twist on it.
Absolutely. So we're going to add a few more bits and pieces into there. So in with some lovely bits of garlic, and now I'm going to sort of contradict you right now, is putting the chili in now. But again, it's entirely up to you with that there. Again, you can see the seeds are taken out, so it's not so hot and fiery, it's sort of gentle. And a little bit of sugar, because the sugar sort of balances out the acidity of the tomatoes, so that's very important. And again, depending on the time of year. This time of year, our tomatoes are sort of a little bit sort of wishy-washy and nothing really exciting at all.
Yeah.
So we then add a bit of tomato paste, which is going to give us a wonderful intensity. And what I love about seasonality is because you make something that'll last you, you know, into a couple of months' time. So like tomato paste, make it when it's, you know, summer season, vibrant, fresh, juicy, sweet tomatoes. They're pureed down, they're cooked right down, and you're going to use them in the winter months when they're not so great. And then we're just going to put a little bit of spice into here, a little bit of coriander.
Brilliant. And I also love the fact that you really are upskilling us in the kitchen, because I'm the type to buy my tomato paste. I didn't know that it was that easy just to make it.
Well, you can make it, there's a bit of a process, but you know, make it short there, but you can just sort of take that intensity. If you're going at home, absolutely. Absolutely, make your own on there. And then my favourite spice, the knock knock spice, remember?
Yes.
And that goes a little bit of cumin and just really cook that down for a couple of minutes. But I'm going to speed up the process. We're going to chuck in our rice. So let's just pop that into there as well. And then cover that with lots of lovely stock.
Chef, I like the fact that you've mentioned that you were adding your peppers a little later, because the one thing that does happen is that because it's such a West African dish, a lot of people do it in different ways. I know that the Ghanaians do it their own way, the Nigerians do it their own way. So maybe South Africa, you can tell us who does it better, because Palisa, you said you had some with goat. And
I did. Do me one, Kumbuza. I actually this past week enjoyed the most delicious jollof rice. But mine, today we're keeping it seasonal without vegetables. But I enjoyed it with goat's meat.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous.
That's so good. That's the OG way.
That's like OG.
Absolutely, that. And actually, I've always had your goat and cooked down a little bit of orange juice. Ooh. And that wonderful sweetness, but that gaminess that you get. But that's not too bad.
Wow.
And with a bit of jollof rice, absolutely. That's it.
Well, Tumi, on that same note, as we are moving and grooving in this kitchen, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za to get this recipe. Thank you so much, chefs.
Made with love by Clover.